So I think the number one way, the things that people have to do when making a decision
Mm.
is define your values.
Mm.
And when you define your values, that's your belief system, your core. And when our values are aligned, and they have evolved,
Yes,
got stronger, but when they're aligned, we're unified and we're going in one direction.
that's true. And that makes total sense when you're unified and going in that one direction. What do you say to people who are not unified, who are married, and they are not going in that direction? What is your advice for them?
Get your common values together. You get your common values together, and then those four things are going to be that structure in which you base all your decisions upon. Like, for instance, you started
Totally different from you.
correct, right? And now what are we about?
Same thing, family,
Family,
health,
health,
freedom.
freedom. And when you think about freedom, I'm thinking about financial freedom. I'm talking about a peace of mind, freedom in a sense, right? Not being hounded upon by or being mentally imprisoned by others or other things. And really the freedom to make my own decisions.
Hmm.
I think that's a big one too. Because a lot of times people feel like they're making their own decisions and they're not.
Yeah. It's freedom to of away from certain systems out there, whether it be the medical system or the school system, just freedom in that sense.
Yeah,
Does that make sense?
100%. So freedom is definitely huge. And I think the other value we have is our marriage.
Mm-hmm. Expand.
Yeah, well, we wanted to both have the mother and father
Mm-hmm.
in the same household around our kids. That
Yes.
that
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 was
was it.
important to us.
Yeah.
We're fortunate our values aligned, even though they're different, they aligned, and we were on board and wanted to make it work. There was no ego or any of that, those type of emotions involved, in my opinion.
No,
And that's what worked for us. There was
it's
give and take.
exactly. There's no ego at all. And once we defined our values as a family and we're all aligned, we're going in one direction.
We are. And I don't want to paint this rosy picture. However, it is somewhat, because we're aligned, it is a little rosy. Don't you say? Wouldn't you agree?
That's why you align your values. I mean, and it takes some effort and time,
Exactly. I guess
intentional.
that's where I wanted to say. It
Yeah,
takes effort and time.
yeah.
You
I
have to
got
want to put it in.
put it in. Go to Google, look up, like, give me a list of 100 different values. You see different values, check on what's important to you, have your spouse check off what's important to them, come together and say, no, these are our top three, our top four. Because when you do that, we found that there's like a little circle.
Mm-hmm.
Like all those values kind of run into one another and they get stronger,
And stronger.
stronger, and stronger, and stronger.
Yes. Yeah. I have to agree.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it I I feel like once they get stronger, you don't get bored with it, right? You you keep you keep you get motivated even more to keep doing it
Yeah.
for
That's,
us. And you don't even realize that you're being motivated for it. It's just part of who you are now.
that's a great point. That really is a great point because you can't get bored of values. That's who you are.
Yeah.
And you can't lose motivation about who you are.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a beautiful point. Um, and when you define them, you just got to also just don't compromise them. And if you make a decision not to compromise them, like we want to have the marriage and the father and the mother in the same household raising our kids together,
Mm-hmm.
there is no other decision but to do it. We're not compromising that
Yeah.
value.